Terrence J. Holden. I'll be speaking on fertility today of teens and young adults. This is Biology 1310, Professor Dr. Mary J. Parker. Just to give you guys a little bit of background, it is estimated 1 million pregnancies and over 521,000 live births among U.S. women ages 15 to 19 were reported for recent years. Because of the adverse health, social, and economic consequences of teenage childbearing, data was analyzed for pregnancies and births among teenagers. This data will be used to monitor progress towards national goals and to assist in targeting programs and efforts to reduce teenage pregnancies. Let's talk a little bit about fertility. Textbook definition is fertility is the ability to reproduce. Men who are fertile are able to father children, and fertile women are able to get pregnant and carry their baby to full term, with a live birth 9 months after conception. This all happens naturally as a result of sexual intercourse. However, in today's age, science has come a long way, and if you're not able to produce naturally, doctors and scientists have came up with ways to where you can use another person as to carry your baby, as well as you can have medical procedures done to fix this issue and to give you a chance at having a baby the way you would like. Let's talk a little bit about factors that can affect fertility, such as smoking. According to the Texas Department of Public Health, smoking is bad for all people, especially unborn children as well as infant children, so it's important not to smoke or be around smoke at all times. Low maternal education is important when you're trying to conceive, to educate yourself on when you're ovulating and what to do and when to do it. Being obese and anorexic can cause you to have a bad nutrition level, which would hurt your ability to conceive. Drugs. Drugs are bad for anybody, especially someone who is trying to conceive a baby. It is important that you stay away from drugs at all times because drugs can hurt your ability to have a baby as well as cause that baby to have different birth defects if you are able to conceive. Lack of education and counseling. Know when to have a baby. It is important to get yourself educated on know when to have a baby, when it's a good time to have a baby, and make sure that you're less stressed as possible. The more stressful you are, the less your chances will be to conceive. Medical issues. Sometimes our medical issues are not our fault. They're hereditary that came down from generation to generation. It's also important to educate yourself and find out what is your family's history. This particular graph shows live births to mothers less than 18 years of age from Los Angeles County from 2002 to 2011. According to the graph, from 2002 to 2008, births was up pretty high. But all of a sudden, 2009, 2010, and 11, the births from teens dropped drastically. Sources say that that's because of the economy, and some say that's because we have educated our teens on birth control as well as different procedures to avoid having kids as a teenager. Now let's talk about the endocrine system. The endocrine system refers to the collection of glands of an organism that secrete hormones directly into the circulatory system to be carried towards a distant target organ. Basically, the endocrine system is like the nervous system. It sends information, it accepts, it's sent it at a slower rate than a nervous system would. It takes a little while for the body to process it. Some of the major organs of the endocrine system will be made up of the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, pituitary glands, adrenal glands, pancreas, ovaries in females, and testicles in males. Let's get into the reproductive system. The reproductive system consists of organs that produce and transport gametes. Gametes are sex cells that carry the genetic information from each parent. The reproduction system is a collection of organs that work together for the purpose of producing new life. Most scientists would argue that the reproductive system is among the most important systems in the entire body. Without the ability to reproduce, a species dies. And in order for life to go on Earth, we would have to continue to reproduce. The major organs of the reproductive system include the external genitalia and internal organs, including gonads that produce gamete. Female's reproductive system has the ovary, fallopian tube, uterus, cervix, and the vagina. The male reproductive system has the bladder, prostate, urethra, penis, and the testicle. After talking to a few people regarding the reproductive system, a lot of women I found out has problems with their ovary and their cervix. Several of the women I surveyed said that they either had a cancerous cell on their ovary or they had something growing on their cervix, which caused them to have problems conceiving. As far as the males that I spoke with, two of the guys had an enlarged prostate, and one of the guys had an enlarged testicle, which caused them to have problems conceiving a child, and they had to look for other methods. Fertility impact on the U.S. population. In 2009, a total of 409,840 infants were born to females aged 15 to 19, for a live birth rate of 39.1 per 1,000 females in this age group. More than two-thirds of births to females younger than 18 and more than half of these among age 18 to 19 years were unintended. The U.S. teen birth rate fell by more than one-third from 1991 to 2005, but then increased by 5% over 2 consecutive years. Teen pregnancy and birth rates in the United States are substantially higher than those in Western industrialized nations. Well, the thing about that is, in other nations, they have rules. They have more of sanctions about how you can have a baby and how many can you have and who you can have it with. Unlike America, where we live in the land of the free. Even with us being in the land of the free, in the last 5 years, our rates has been increasingly down. And most people that I've spoke to and most articles I've read is because we have been educating ourselves as well as our teenagers about birth control, about preventive sex measures, as well as the importance of education and the importance of getting yourself together before you have a child. Those are some of the facts that have caused these numbers to go down. Just now, over the recent 2 years, that the numbers are starting to climb back up, but barely. Let's get a little bit into the different ethnicity groups as it relates to fertility rates in the United States from age 15 to 19 by race. White and Hispanic from 2005 to 2009, they kind of stayed on the same track between 25.9 and 25.6, ending in 2009. Black Hispanic rate was double that rate, was 60.9 to 59. The Hispanic rate, however, is at 81.7, with that lowest being 70.1 in 2009. And I can remember when I was in high school, middle school, and elementary, my elementary, middle school, and high school were predominantly African-American individuals. However, when I go back to those schools today to visit and to help out, mostly it is Hispanic ethnicity that is in the school at this moment. And maybe 10% African-American and maybe 1% white. So times are definitely changing in the United States as it relates to who's having children and who's not. I've talked to a lot of African-American students and just asked them random questions like how they feel about having children when they get older. And a lot of them say that they don't want to have children, they don't want to deal with it. They want to finish college. They want to enjoy life. A lot of the male African-American students told me that they definitely want to have at least 2 kids, one being a son, one being a daughter. And I've talked to some Hispanics, and they mostly said that they are about family. They want as many kids as their husbands want or their wives want, and they are family-oriented. As far as the white non-Hispanic, I didn't get a chance to survey any of those, but from what I do know from friends of mine, that they do not prefer to have a lot of children, but 1 or 2 is kind of what they said that they like. I haven't talked to them recently, but in the past, that's what they've told me. So that's that. And this comes from the American Center of Health Statistics, 2005 to 2009. Now let's check out this table right here. From 15 to 19, 1991 to 2009. Okay. Green, the top layer, being the teen pregnancy rate, yellow being the teen birth rate, and brown being the abortion rate. As you can see, every year, everything is going down except the teen birth rate. But in the middle, you can tell that the teen pregnancy rate is high, but the teen birth rate is in the middle. So something's not adding up there. That could be caused by different things such as miscarriages. It can be caused by teen abortions, of course. And here in Texas, we had a big deal last year regarding the abortion law that Rick Perry passed, where most abortion clinics would be demolished unless they had proper operating areas. That has since not happened, so I'm looking forward to seeing what are the rates that's going to be for 2014 and coming. In conclusion, we can see that the fertility rates among teens and adults have been on the decline in the United States for years. Most that were polled said they choose to wait due to cost of living and the cost of raising a child. According to the Public Health Department, 2013 was the first year in 5 years that there had been an increase in childbirth. Now that the economy is booming again, statistics show that people are more comfortable and willing to add to their household. From the several adults between the ages of 35 and 40 that I polled, they did not think it was a good time for them to have kids because they did not want to be old having children. But when I interviewed the ones that were 40 to 42, they said that they're more willing to have a child now than ever because their child is typically 18 to 20 years old already, and they miss raising children. So although the teen rates are outweighing the adult rates, the rates are still pretty low in America at the moment. And in order to keep America moving, I feel that we should be reproducing, but at a responsible level. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. I look forward to listening to your critiques.